Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Paul from Prior Witness. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day today. So, Ampero II Stomp, how about that? This is a pretty cool device. I'm going to do a series of videos on this. This one is just going to be a quick overview. I'm just going to show you how to get through the menus, trying to keep this under 10 minutes. Let's go. All right, so when you fire this thing up, this is what it's going to look like. Now, if you're like me, you're not a big fan of the gold color on here, and you're not a big fan of the big huge size A00-1, you want it to look a little different, well, I'm going to show you how to do that. So first and foremost, I want you to pay attention to this area right over here, this little S button. There's your expression pedal stuff over here, your beats per minute crap, your volume. That's a drum loop thingy. The gear thing, that's your settings. That's going to be super important. And of course, then you got your save button. Everything is touchscreen. You can also maneuver around this thing with the rotary dial here. You'll notice you've got some hot button dials over here. I'm going to show you how that works. And then you got these foot switches, super powerful stuff here, by the way, you can do. All right, let's get to it. So I'm going to walk you through how to change the color on this thing. So very first thing you want to do, click this little gearbox here, click settings. We're going to go to display. And here we got mode 1, patch mode. We got foot switch, stomp mode. You can change the language. You click this arrow over here. You notice you got the color over here, and then you got display time. Now the display time by default might be different when you first fire it up. I have it on always on, but you can change that however you want. We're going to click back, go to mode 1, patch mode. These rotary dials right here manipulate what these do. You can also do it via your finger, but we're going to use the rotary switches. So now we're on mode 2, patch mode, and we'll show you what that does. So now, instead of the huge size number up here, now we've got the title up here, which is a good thing. Next thing we want to do, I want to change the color of this thing. I'm going to go back into the gearbox, display. You'll notice it says foot switch stomp mode. We're going to manipulate that here in a minute. Click the arrow box over. Here's your color. Now we get to select whatever color we want. These are all the different colors you've got. Red, orange, green, red, purple, cyan. I don't think they have fuchsia. Sorry. We're going to select blue because I love blue. We're going to click back. Now everything's blue. All right, the next thing, there's a lot of other features that we can access here. And the only way to do that, you got to click this S button to get us to another set of settings. So we're going to click the S button. That brings us to a pedal board mode. You'll see a lot of things are now different. And your switches just have a bunch of different lights too on this preset here. So the next thing we want to do is we want to go in to see what's going on inside here, what all the effects are going on in here. To do that, to see the effects that are going on, you want to select this little sneaky button up here. Before I do that, I want you to pay attention to a few other things that changed. Over here, you've got a new different button now over here. It looks like an expression pedal with some knobs next to it. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to start calling it the expression pedal switch thingy. Just bear with me. Actually, you know what? We're going to call it setting 2. How about that? That makes more sense. Real professional stuff here, guys. Over here, we've got all the chain of effects that are going on in this preset. Take note of what's going on in there. Pretty cool stuff. There's a lot of things you can do with this. One of the things that I want to show you right out the gate when we're in this mode, you'll notice the buttons up here changed again. So if you click this little button over here, it looks like 3 sheets of paper on top of it. That's how you manipulate the kind of flow that you got going on. So you can have parallel routing, split mix, ABY, or just serial. Serial's good old-fashioned, no frills. That's the kind I like. The next one is scenes. You can actually have different scenes. So you can have 3 scenes. You can actually have these foot switches control your scenes instead. You can do that if you want. We're going to back out of this mode by clicking this little foot switch button next to the P. That brings us back to pedal board mode, and you'll notice this button over here switched again. Now what's in here? Let's click on that. This is setting switch number 2, expression pedal thingy switch. I don't know what we're going to call it, but whatever. Here we got the foot switch settings. We've got quick access parameters. You can also manipulate your MIDI and expression settings here. The big thing I want you to pay attention to is the foot switch settings and quick access parameters. So if you click on foot switch settings, that's where you can access what all these different buttons do. So right now on this foot switch 1 in this preset, it manipulates delay. If you click on FS2, that's foot switch 2 down here. You'll notice that the reverb is highlighted. That's because it's controlling reverb. Foot switch 3, that's controlling tap tempo. Notice the tap tempo is down here. So you can select these foot switches to do whatever you want. Notice it's even got scenes here. All right. You can also have a foot switch if you want. Select not just one effect, but you can assign it to manipulate multiple effects, and we'll show you how to do that in another video. We're going to back out. Quick access parameters. This is where you go to find what all these knobs do. Okay, so you got parameter 1. That's this knob, and you can go through these effects and see which effect you want, and then what you want it to manipulate. Here on this preset, this first knob right here manipulates green drive's volume. Parameter 2 is this knob right here. That's manipulating the Marshall 800's master volume. Parameter 3, this is manipulating the mix of the reverb, and that's on this one right here. So again, you can have this do all kinds of different things if you want, but just letting you know that the nice thing about these knobs is that, instead of having to do endless menu diving, if you need to correct something on the fly, if you know that there's certain pedals that are going to be within your Ampero II Stomp that you're going to be manipulating a lot, you can assign those effects to these three these rotary switches, and it makes things a lot easier. One last thing I want to show you before I end the video is how to go through this, the different kinds of presets. There's different ways you can do it. You can use your finger to click this little button over here, the arrow, and you can go through the different presets that way. You can also just click on the preset, and you can drag it and just, scroll through it with your finger like you were on your iPhone, your Android. Another thing you can do, you can use this rotary switch to go through all the different kinds of presets as well, which is really handy. The other thing I want you to take note of is this tiny little sliver of a icon right here. What this is like the spot where you are in all the presets. So as you can see, there's a lot of different presets. So I don't use the stock presets. I have my own presets built in, and they're all the way over here in this area. So how do I get over there quick? Well, I just use the rotary. See, I clicked it. So if you click on that, you can switch back and have the rotary switch go to your presets. And now we're going into my presets. So you can see all the different presets and what's going on in here. Real quick, I want to show you something. This is kind of like a preview into the next video that we'll do. But on this Metallica preset that I have, if we go into the effects chain that I've got going on here, so I click on the little sneak thingy. These are all my different effects that I've got going on in here. With just one switch, I can switch from a dirty channel to a clean channel. Notice how a bunch of effects just turned off and another group just turned on. That's not even using scenes. That's just the power of just one foot switch that you can do on this thing. And then what I can do is I can add effects wherever I want based on what I wanted these switches to do. So like I've got foot switch 2 controlling my drive, and I've got foot switch 3 controlling my delay. And then if I back out of here and I go back into that patch mode, or I can also get there this way by clicking on P and then clicking on that little foot switch thingy next to the P, going back into pedal board mode. I can also see right here on the icons which blocks are being turned on and off and which blocks they manipulate. And then right here you got numbers up here, and you got little icons as to which pedals we're manipulating. So like right here, I can just reach down and manipulate the gain on my drive, or I can reach down here and just manipulate the I've got these two parameters tied to a delay pedal, and the delay pedal is supposed to emulate a 2290 digital delay with a little bit of modulation on it, and I can manipulate how much depth I want the modulation to be on my delay, and I can manipulate how much time I do on my delay. And if you really flick the rotary switch, you can get across pretty fast and select what you want. You can also use your fingers to manipulate the little icon as well, which is pretty nice. Well, I wanted to keep this under 10 minutes, so that's all the time I got right now. But if you stay tuned, I'm going to go over some more stuff in the near future with the Ampero II Stomp. Next, we'll go over how to set up these switches and how to set up these hot button, rotary things. And we're going to go into MIDI. We're going to do a lot of crazy stuff with this thing in the near future. Really excited about this pedal. I really like it a lot. I've had it for almost a year now. I've been messing with it. It's really nice. It sounds great. Works great. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff with this. More covers to come too, and Anyway, hope you enjoyed something. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Rock on. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.